BizzTeams.com is glad to ask you a few questions.
Sure.
So, how is the show going today?
Absolutely fantastic. It's great to be back in Toronto. We come here once every year. It's the only show that we do in Canada. We always get a great turnout. It's one of the smaller shows, but certainly one of the ones that I enjoy most. The networking is great. Yeah, it's really good, very good.
What markets is your company operating on? What are your most noticeable offers and products?
So there are three brands that work together from Incisive Media, which is the umbrella brand. In the online marketing world, the three brands that people know the best are SES Conferences EXPOs, which is where we are right now. And then we have two sister publications. We have ClickZ.com, or ClickZ as it's frequently known in the UK, and Search Engine Watch. ClickZ and Search Engine Watch have been around for almost 15 years now, offering advice to online marketers, and almost the same for SES. Previously, SES was known as Search Engine Strategies, but because the conference kind of covers more or less everything that we talk about in online marketing, not just search, we kind of just refer to it as SES, the online marketing conference at Expo.
Do you have any competitive advantages that present your company in a favorable light compared to your rivals?
Yeah, we have the team that rocks in the entire industry. I guess probably the most important thing about SES and the reason that it is successful is that it's attached to two other brands. So with ClickZ, we have a huge readership globally of online marketers. We have over 80, maybe 90 contributors who are online practitioners writing for ClickZ and also coming to the conference and sharing those experiences here. At the same time, we have about the same number of contributors at Search Engine Watch. So I think when it comes to what is it that we offer here at this conference, we have the cream of online marketers, those that are really good at sharing experiences, actually coming to do it live with us.
What trends will take place in SEM in the near future, according to you? Maybe any surprises going to happen?
I think with SEO that the whole term needs to change just a little bit. Search engine optimization back in the day was all about clearing barriers to let crawlers such as Googlebot come into your website and get indexed more easily. Whereas these days, I think the technology and certainly Googlebot is a lot more advanced, so we don't tend to suffer that many challenges. But I think the convergence of search and social together is still probably one of the biggest things to be looking at. Social search is very, very important, I think, and definitely if you look at the way that search engines such as Google, trying to be much more in the social media space, Facebook and Bing, you can see that social search is definitely becoming a much more important aspect.
How should search engines get rid of spam pages appearing in search results, in your opinion? And would it cause any harm to SEO marketers? What do you think of Google Penguin?
So, I think the best way to get to spam pages is to find all of the guys who do black hat techniques, put them on a boat and send them to an island somewhere. I might be making that one up actually. I mean, spam is always going to be a problem. At the end of the day, when you have a search engine like Google, which is constantly crawling the web, I've said many times before, it's kind of like swimming upstream in a river. You never know what's going to drop into your mouth, you know? So with Google, there's always going to be an element of crap, which is what it is, that comes in with the good stuff. So yes, Penguin update, Panda update, people in SEO talk about that like it's Google penalizing them, and yet if you're not doing anything wrong, if you're doing the best for your client, if you're using best practices and doing good marketing, you never need to worry about a Penguin or a Panda. Those kind of updates at Google are all about clearing out the crap. It's unfortunate every now and again when you do something like that, the baby might go out with the bathwater. They'll get better at doing that as you go along, but at the end of the day, if you're creating good content, if your link building is happening naturally, if you're doing what it is that you would do in a marketing environment anywhere, you're not going to get penalized. If you worry about Penguin and Panda, worry about the fact you might be doing the wrong things.
From your point of view, what is the overall trend for long-run development of SEM? Is it going to flourish or languish in 5 or 10 years?
SEM, I mean, if we're talking about SEM as just being the paid side of search, there are a couple of elements that are really important there. Perhaps the most important one is looking at paid search and display advertising together. There was a period many years ago, certainly when I came into the industry, where you would never talk about display and PPC in the same sentence. And yet the way that it works now, particularly with display at buying at keyword level and real-time bidding, I think, yes, it's definitely going to flourish. And we're going to move miles away from paid search being just about buying a text link ad at Google. And certainly if you look more at the way that that paid search operates at Facebook and Twitter, for instance, you know, there's a lot of paid search that's going on beyond just Google and Bing.
What is your company going to do in the near future in order to become even more successful in the market than it is today?
First, they're going to give me a pay raise, make me managing director, and in return, I will gladly. What are we doing? Like I said, I mean, we're very fortunate in the fact that we have so many great contributors from around the world. Like I say, ClickZ.com, ClickZ.Asia, where we launched last year, so we have a huge presence in Asia. So we're able to use our own channels, to use ClickZ, to use Search Engine Watch, to get all of the feedback that we do from our contributors, be able to bring that into the conference, disseminate that information. I mean, to be perfectly honest, we bring as much intelligence as we can to the conference, but by speaking to the attendees, we actually take away a lot of intelligence as well to build into the next show. So I think it's all about the knowledge sharing is where it's going here.
And the last question. Would you give an advice to many newly created companies engaged in SEM? What is the most important thing for achieving success in this industry?
Advice to people involved in SEM, you know, it depends on which part of the world that you go to. For instance, in China, if you say SEM, it's purely about paid search. Frequently if you use SEM in the UK, it's about both. It's about organic search, it's about, you know, paid search as well. So I think generally speaking, if we're talking about what's going to happen to search engine marketing, I think the first thing that's going to happen is you'll take the word engine out of it, because that's kind of a lot of tactics that were geared specifically towards Google. I mean, over the past 10 years, Google has been front and center when it comes to search, but there's like 500 million people over at Facebook, and that's not quite search engine marketing, if you know what I mean. So I think just understanding the changes and the developments in the audience, it goes back to what I said before about social search. A lot more people spend time going to Facebook to ask friends and relatives, you know, where's the best place to get a pizza in Toronto? They ask their friends and relatives, whereas before they used to go directly to Google. Now they might take that advice from friends and relatives and then Google it afterwards, you know? So I definitely think that for SEO, search engine marketers, take out the word engine, start and think about the end user and an information need as opposed to doing search engine marketing.
Our interview has come to an end. Thank you, Mike, for this talk, and may all your initiatives be a success, and watch the interview at BizzTeams.com.
Thank you very much. Great to talk to you.